I don't think that we should ever stop complaining about it. Never stop complaining about the Epstein thing. Oh, here we go. We got Tucker Carlson talking about it too. Let's look at this.
The people don't matter in this case.
Man, I think this, for a bunch of reasons, it's so obvious. It is salacious. People have followed it for years. The president promised to reveal the truth about...
You know something else? Ever since this whole thing started getting to be a big deal, I've been seeing a lot more lizards lately. Like, every time I go outside, there's like 2 or 3 lizards. Me too? Huh. That's crazy. Where are all them? Where do they all come from? I don't know. It's just crazy.
And Bondi, as you said, went on television, so we have the truth. We're going to give it to you.
Yes.
I think this is I think this is a big deal. It's a really big deal. It's bigger. I hope so too, actually. So let's just assess this logically.
Very big deal.
They're covering up. The DOJ, the current DOJ under Pam Bondi is covering up crimes.
I think somebody's getting covered for. I think I do. I think that there is a 0% chance that nobody is that there's actually no leads. No fucking way, man.
Very serious crimes by their own description. Why are they doing that?
It's Trump? No. If it was Trump, Biden, dude, they gave that guy 34 fucking felonies. They arrested him. They gave him a mugshot. They did everything. If they could have gone after Trump, it would have been, they had 4 fucking years to do that. It could be Trump also, but it's a lot of...
Really only 2 potential explanations that I can think of. Maybe you've got another. The first is that Trump is involved. That, Trump is on the list. That they've got tape of Trump doing something awful.
Yeah.
I don't believe that for 2 reasons. One, I've talked to Trump about it a lot.
So Trump said he wasn't on the list. All right, Tucker. That fucking settles it. Oh, shit. Okay. Wow, case closed. All right. Trump said he wasn't on the list.
And I know him. He's not that, for whatever his sins, I don't think he's that guy, actually. I don't think he likes creepy sex stuff. That's just my view.
I mean, but, well, if he, isn't it weird, though, that he made, like, a lot of comments about women? Didn't he make sexual comments about his own daughter when she's, like, 13? Like, I mean, I'm not a Trump hater, right? But, like, I remember when that happened. Yeah, like, I mean, who does that? It wasn't his daughter? Oh, that makes it so much better.
But more, I think, convincing is that this is all information that the Biden administration had. And if there was evidence that Trump had been involved in illegal sexual activity...
Yeah, this one makes more sense.
You think the people who made up Russiagate wouldn't have leaked it?
Exactly.
Right. Come on now.
Yeah, they would have leaked it.
So the only other explanation that I can think of, again, maybe you've got another, is that intel services are at the very center of this story, U.S. and Israeli, and they're being protected. I think that seems like the most plausible.
That's the most obvious. They have a history of this.
Nope. I think they're both wrong. I think the reason why is that everybody inside of leadership, inside of all Western culture, leadership, fucking Great Britain, the UK, the Europe, fucking France. Where are some of those other bullshit countries over there? Germany. All those like NATO, all the NATO countries, like Australia. I've heard of that one. Australia's in Europe, right? I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. And so, and then America, right? I think that everybody is involved. I think they're all involved, and there is some form of third party, and it becomes increasingly likely that it is not Israel, but it is in fact China or Russia that has access to all of this data and information. And if one group leaks it without leaking everything, they will provide the full copy of everything that happened. That is the no fucking way. No. It's clearly Israel. The reason why I think that it's not Israel is because I think the Israelis were in on it. bro, like they're calling each other first names, etc. Like, really, like I think they were in on it too. So, and they're a part of the Western world. So I think that it has to be logically, right? And I think that, like, so my second guess is Israel. My first guess is China/Russia. That's all. I'm not saying that you're wrong, okay? Like, that's still my second guess, and you could be right, but I think that it's one or the other. And there it is, or one of those three. And so that's the only reason why it could happen. North Korea, bro, no, it's not North Korea. Like, nothing's happening in North Korea except for people being on meth and getting killed. And so that's it. It's intelligence-based. It would destroy all faith in our systems and institutions. I disagree with you. I think that if we found out that all of this was happening and then all the people that did it faced trial, it would actually restore more faith than ever. Because that would be a degree of accountability. I think people for a very long time, and this has been going on, I think, ever since the Kennedy assassination. This is, again, like, I wasn't alive then. I know I'm old. I'm not that old. I wasn't alive then, but I think it's been going on since then that, like, as soon as, like, Lee Harvey Oswald just gets shot inside of the police station and he gets killed out of fucking nowhere, how the fuck does that happen? What are the odds, right? And he makes some shot from a million miles away. And so I think ever since then, there has been a growing disillusionment that people have had with the with the government at large. And I think that it has gotten worse. Like, people think the moon landing was fake. They think Vietnam was fake. They think that us going to war in the Middle East was just for oil. They think Bush did 9/11 or Jews did 9/11 or, hey, why not both? And they think, yeah, all this stuff. And Vietnam, really? Yes, the Gulf of Tonkin, fucking yes, exactly. They said that's a false flag, 100%. So there is a massive amount of distrust in the government that exists at a macro level that is oppressive to all parts of government, and it makes people hate the government. The fact that they can't come out and just say, bro, this is what happened, these are the people, that is the exact opposite. Trust in the government, if you had to, like, fucking do a poll, I bet it is the lowest now than it's been probably in 50 years. Like, and maybe, like, I don't know, maybe, like, right after something, maybe it was slightly lower. But I would say, like, on an average, I think it is just simply, is there a poll for this, actually? Let me see here. Poll Americans trust in the government over the years. Let me see if I can find, no. Let me see I just want the images. Wow, okay, so I totally made this up. I completely made this up with literally no bearing, facts, or evidence whatsoever, and it turns out I was right. Yep, this is just a vibe. I just had a vibe. I was like, you know what? I think this is probably true. Yeah, it's 2015. Oh, you're right. Great point. Let's see, 2025, 2010s. What do we have? It looks like 2015. It looks like we're not... Maybe, you know what? Maybe they stopped doing these polls. Maybe they're like, guys, shut it down. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so Hispanic ad. This is, I guess, one example of it. Let me see. Open image in new tab. So we've got right here, Biden, I guess it went up slightly during COVID. I think this is just really a reaction to COVID and people wanting to be protected by the government by COVID. I don't think this really says a whole lot. COVID was lower. Yeah, but I think that really it probably went down. I think it's about right here right now. This is awful. It's real bad. 2023, how convenient. Makes no sense. Well, no, it does. Because anybody who expressed distrust in the government was suppressed and censored and shut down. So logically, it would make sense that the only people that you're seeing discussing this are people that are more positive about it. So yeah, the trust in the government is at an all-time low.
Been multiple documented cases of pedophilia inside of the CIA perpetrated by CIA officers, documented that in many of those...
If you know anything about history, you would know that Epstein is actually the first noteworthy person to ever be a pedophile in the history of mankind. Nobody in powerful positions ever did this in the past. This is the first time. That's why it's such a big deal.
I believe over a dozen cases. This was a BuzzFeed news piece years back where the CIA specifically did not want to prosecute those individuals in federal court for fear that they would reveal sources and methods if they were pulled into open court.
Yeah.
And they basically just made it go away. The only time they actually prosecuted somebody for child pornography was whenever he'd already being prosecuted for mishandling classified information.
Well, when they want to
that's
crack you,
convenient.
they put kiddie porn in your computers. Why don't have a computer?
It has no,
Don't own one.
If you're an
That's
important
why.
person, you should be careful.
No
And
computer in
doesn't
my
own a-
house.
This is an
Bro, that's crazy. Wow.
important thing, though, is that we already have documented cases of them covering this up. I believe the CIA Inspector General, I forget the exact quote, but he said something along the lines of, "You wouldn't even believe the amount of child porn that I've seen while I'm on this job." I mean, these are depraved. Look, I mean, it's a large organization, a small percentage of the U.S. We can make that argument. I think there is like something pathological, kind of in the minds of the people who excel in this type of environment.
Of course, it's based on lying.
Yes.
Yep, and there it is. And don't you guys know own computers? Yeah, I guess not powerful being fucking kids since day one. Yeah, exactly. It's too convenient for the U.S. For the narrative to elude multiple countries being at fault. Yeah, I think the people with most to lose are American. I think that you're absolutely right. You are 100% right. Let's listen to Ben Shapiro. This guy, he's a...
We now have the answers. And the problem is this. People who never hedged their bets, people who never at any point suggested...
I'm telling you guys, it's getting bigger. The hat that he wears, it's getting bigger. What is it going to be like in 5 years from now? Every single time that I see one of these, it's a bigger one. Is this like, his power level or something? What is this? Like Samson?
to you, that they don't have data to back up the speculation, that the speculation was in and of itself the conclusion, that if you speculate without evidence, that amounts to an actual conclusion to an investigation, they're going to be very upset today because it turns out that the DOJ and the FBI have concluded that Epstein didn't have a client list and died by suicide, according to a memo detailing the findings obtained by Axios.
That's what
now, again,
they said.
Does this put to bed like all inquiries? Of course not.
Oh yeah, no. Oh, okay. So he killed himself, and nobody did anything wrong. Oh wow. Well, that's yay, great. Okay, guys. I thought it was gonna be something bad.
People can continue to speculate as much as they want, and I think there's still open questions.
I do think that you're right. That I always wondered if like the guys that invented the idea for having this hat were just a bunch of guys that got together like 2,000 or 3,000 years ago, and they're like, yeah, so like we're all kind of going bald back there. So like, what if we make it like a fucking religious thing, where we put like a thing over it so nobody can see this shit, but it's like our religion, so nobody can say that we can't do it, right? Like, because I feel like, what are the odds of that, right? What are the fucking odds? Like, yeah, exactly. And this is the fit, yeah. But isn't that convenient? Damn.
Here regarding how did Epstein make his money? But that's a very serious open question. And the speculation for a long time was he made his money from blackmail. But the DOJ and the FBI, again, run by people like Dan Bongino and Kash Patel and Pam Bondi, are telling you, I'm not telling you, they're telling you, people who are members of the Trump administration, people you elected and put into these positions.
Oh, I didn't elect Kash Patel. I didn't elect Pam Bondi. Trump put him in office. And also, like, I mean, I would have elected Kash Patel to FBI. I thought the guy was great. I did. Who else thought he was great? I thought he was awesome. And then he gets in there and he doesn't do anything. He doesn't fucking do anything. Like, I'm mad. I was like, oh, okay, this is gonna, oh, wow, we're gonna get change? Well, I guess he changed his mind. Fuck.
To get you the truth on this matter, are telling you that he didn't, in fact, he was not murdered. He did not keep a client list.
Yeah.
And he did not blackmail powerful figures.
Well, that's
that is the thing that they are saying, not I. They are saying this.
Yes.
If you're willing to throw that over and claim they're lying, then I'd like to see you present your evidence that they are in fact lying. Because,
okay, here's my evidence. You want my evidence? The fact that they said that they had tens of thousands of hours of child porn footage, but they were unable to release the faces or go after investigations to identify the people inside of those videos at all. That's the reason. That's it. It was just the girls. You don't know that, and I bet that's not true.
I know Dan. I don't think that Dan Bongino is lying to me. I know Kash Patel a little bit. I don't think Kash Patel is lying to me.
Uh-huh.
I don't think these people are lying to me.
I don't know why Ben Shapiro is trying to put his reputation on trying to sweep this. I don't know why. Why would he do that? Do you seriously think it's Kash Patel or Pam Bondi? Obviously, if Trump wants it done, he would. Clearly, he doesn't. Well, I mean, they can't even... Bro, Kash Patel can't even figure out a bunch of Reddit people figuring shit, like trying to blow up the president on Craigslist. They can't even figure that shit out. So no, I mean, bro, if you can't even get Craigslist under control, you really want me to go and act like, oh no, they're working as hard as they can? Yeah, right. Yeah, right. They could be working harder. Epstein was owned by Israel? Well, I don't know.
Which means that if somebody else continues to claim that they're lying, they ought to provide their evidence at this point. And now is the point at which the facts on the ground have changed. And so either you ought to shift your opinion based on the facts that have now emerged, or...
It's not the fact. No, you're wrong. These aren't the facts. These are the conclusions presented by facts that are not public. No. You have to take the conclusion of the investigation and then assume that the facts are legitimate and that other things weren't ignored. These are two totally different fucking things. What is going on here?
You ought to acknowledge that this was never a fact-based inquiry in the first place.
It was not a fact-based inquiry in the first place. Yeah, it was. It absolutely was. How do you have all of these victims? They can't identify anyone. The guy kills himself in jail. And also, by the way, I think that it's completely possible that Jeffrey Epstein actually killed himself. I do. And I think that, like, that's a red herring, in my opinion. Oh, did he kill himself or did they kill him? It doesn't matter, right? Because both points lead to the same problem, right? And so that's it. It's all too convenient. It's outrageous. It's a big herring. Yeah, same result. Yeah, how do you have all these photos and all these videos, but you can't identify a single person inside of the videos? Get the fuck out of here. Suck my dick.